we got some great things to talk about today. First up, we've added a dragon. Now that might not seem like a lot, but I've made it pretty generically so that I can swap all sorts of different things in and out. We've got Flammability on teams, so we can make sure that the various spells work with each other properly. We've got the nav meshes built out. Everything's working cleanly in the debug. It's smooth. You will see some bits of lags, like when I'm running 3 versions of the game at once. However, pretty much across the board, things are looking really good. Proud to say that this is coming along well and quickly. Of course, I'm using a lot of marketplace assets to get through some of my art troubles, but you know, that's neither here nor there. We can get a lot done with them, we can prototype with them, and some of them are honestly production worthy. I'm DevelopEsk, and this is the SnowBully Dev Update. To me, part of level and game design is having an interactive situation that you both react to and plan for. I once was told that you should never be reacting to a situation, you should always be so prepared in advance, but I think that really strips away a lot of the instant play fun of a game. And so some of the things that I want to introduce into a PvP arena is getting away from the idea that it's team versus team and moving towards it's team versus team in an environment that is both punishing and helpful. And so that can be explored in different ways. Now, one of the things I'd like to show real quick is if you don't know Unreal and how materials work and such, we can pretty easily reskin everything rapidly. One of my favorite things that we can do is dynamically in code change how things look so that when we're spawning them we get a lot of variability. As well, I spent a lot of time putting in a bunch of different AI behaviors on this. So as you can see here, our dragon not only patrols as seen earlier, but it'll chase you around. It runs through the city. If it loses sight of you, it will eventually de-aggro and stop chasing, as you're going to see right here. And then what's really nice is earlier in the video, once the dragon has lost sight of you and completed a few patrol cycles, it goes ahead and takes off into a flight patrol circle around the village. So part of the things that I want to explore here is how do we prevent teams from camping up? How do we prevent people from sitting in one spot? And how do we keep everything moving? The next thing that adds to this is the spell mechanics. So Flammability is the first thing we're touching on, and obviously we need the ability to catch a player on fire, and to spread that fire between teams. So as you can see here, we're not on the same team, we're not spreading fire. But if I switch teams real quick and get the right ball out, when we hit another player, which would be more like hitting an enemy, people on your same team should be able to spread the fire between each other, as you can see here. It's a pretty straightforward mechanic, but it's fully online networked. We've got it so that the scoreboards update for the person who does the initial attack. So if player A hits player B, go ahead player A and hit player B for us. Said hit player B for us. Thank you. Now we can spread the fire to player C, and if you watch, since the sharks initiated the attacks, they're getting all the points for all the fires. Now of course in real gameplay you won't be able to catch your own teammate on fire, but we needed to test some of these things out. One of the things that we'll have built into this is as you charge your throws, it's similar to charging your elemental power. So if you were to quickly release a fireball onto somebody, then they should only have a short burn time. But if you charge it up, they should have a longer burn time. So here we're going to go through just some of the different scenarios. You've got these two people next to each other are not on the same team. And so you can see that I caught myself on fire with my own teammate, but the other team, the person on the left, they were not caught on fire. So you see here again, I'm on fire, my team's on fire, but the third person is not on fire. I'll go ahead and use this time to talk about some of the other things that we've been working on in the background. And by we, I mean I'm coding this up, and I've got a group of people that have been helping me play test it and working through some of the network defects and help me figure out what's going out. So I do have a Trello board that's pretty racked and stacked full of features that are coming and defects that are known. And so in a lot of these videos that you're seeing, most of those defects have already been fixed. You'll see at the end of this video where the HUDs go crazy and the health doesn't update properly, or you'll see where I hit somebody and I lose health instead of them. All those little network things have been patched up and figured out, and now we're moving more into strict mechanics. So as you can see, there's just a defect right there even, where our friend Peru hit himself with his own fireball and caught on fire. In fact, he goes a step further here in just a moment. That's the one. I added that little pause effect in. That won't actually be in there. Alright, so let's go ahead and get a match started here to kind of look at what the flow will be like. It's pretty seamless transfer. We've got a ton of graphics inside of this demo map that was pre-built off the marketplace. I'll probably use some of these assets as I rebuild the final arena in this specific environment, but for right now I love what they've done, and it doesn't really need much. Of course, we spent some time testing out lag and looking at how many particles we could get in an area, checking to see if our crosshairs were accurate enough. I mean, you're throwing snowballs. And we were also trying to see if we could get various places to lag out. So to do that, we would pile up and throw snowballs. And snowballs. And more snowballs. It eventually did slow down, but all in all it was pretty good. We ran this session for an hour without any glaring obvious issues. Everything that we did get was generally fixed within a week. Hopefully you've liked everything you've seen so far, and if you could take some time to like and subscribe and maybe check out my Patreon, it'd be much appreciated.